Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I just want to say again a massive thank you for all the new subscribers. I've actually doubled my subscribers in the last 3 weeks and I'm really chuffed. So thank you. Please keep the requests coming in because I want to get a feel for what subscribers want from my channel. I know that you like my Charlotte Tilbury follow Charlotte tutorials, but I can't do those forever because you'll get bored. So please keep the requests coming in. Now today I've had 2 requests to do a video about brows. And I was thinking about this last night and I thought, you know what, I could talk for hours because brows is just a massive subject. But I've got to start somewhere. So I'm just going to go right in. I've got loads of brow products because you know me, I like to collect things and I get bored as well. Like, I'm not the sort of person that can have one brow product and then use it and not get bored with it. I do with my mascara. I've got one mascara I love, as you know, and it's called MAC Upward Lash. And I've settled on that one for the time being, and I use that all the time. But with everything else, I kind of like to rotate between products depending on how I feel and how I look and how tired I am. And the reason also I'm talking about this is I think that's why brows are very vast and wide topic, because there's all sorts of variations in terms of products, in terms of brows. So I'm going to just try and make a start. So I'm going to be covering quite a few different types of brow product that you can get. But first of all, it's worth remembering about what are the variables when it comes to brows. Okay, so first of all, you've got the variable of your brows. Now, you may have brows like mine. Now, my brows are, they are still in place, but they are quite patchy. And at places, they're starting to get very fine. So my brows need filling in and they need a bit of shaping. And I also have one brow shape that's very different to the other in terms of here and here. And I used to take so long trying to get them to match. And somebody at Charlotte Tilbury, when they were making me up, said to me, just remember that your brows are sisters, not twins. And I think that's really important. You do see a lot of tutorials. Now, I'm not going to down anyone. This is makeup, right? So if you like these very exact painted on brows, go for it. It's because makeup's about what makes you feel confident. I personally don't like that look because I just don't think it looks natural on me. And that's just but you might want that. And, you know, you can get all these sort of stencils that can kind of do them exactly the same. I just don't like that look, just personally. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you do or you don't. I kind of think it's not kind of... Maybe when you're younger you can get away with it, although I don't like saying, oh, if you're young you can do this, but don't do it if you're over 30. I'm not into that. I get so sick of videos telling me what not to do because I'm over 40. Again, tell me what you think about that, because I'm really tired of saying, oh, don't put shimmer on your eyes if you're over 40. Put matte shadows and use nice browns and taupes and don't put any colour there. It really bugs me because I've never just been someone that's going to put really muted eyeshadow on all the time. But I won't do something that's not going to suit me either. So I think one of the things that we really are good at as we age is we stop following fashion and we know what suits us and we do what suits us and what suits our personality. And that's our strength. I certainly felt that when I was in my teens and early 20s, I did what was in fashion, and half the time I looked ridiculous. So anyway, that's me just blathering on as usual. But the reason that I'm saying all this is because you need to look at your brows and decide. So the first variable is, what do your brows look like? Are they like mine? are they kind of non-existent and they need a lot of not filling in, they need a lot of painting in? Or are they very, very thick and they need a bit of shape? So that's the first variable. The second variable is the look that you want to go for, which is what I've just covered, which is, you know, do you want these big, thick, very, very similar defined lashes, or brows, or do you want brows that are going to look more natural? And then when you've got an idea about that, then you're going to start having to think about what products you're going to use. Now, I've actually not got a Benefit brow product, but if you've seen Benefit's website, they've got a lot of brow products and they're very big into brows. And one of the things that I have used from Benefit is the website, because you can go in there, and I will post a link below, and you can try on brows. So basically you take a picture of yourself and you can try on different types of brow, and then they give you suggestions for what types of products, because it all gets a bit overwhelming. But I'm going to move to products, and I've got a few here, and work my way through. And please leave any questions and I'll do a continuation if need be. Now, this one is a product that I talked about a few weeks ago. This is a natural brow shaper. So this is like a mascara wand, and in it is clear gel. Now, I was suggesting that this is very good if you've got very shaky hands, or you're not very confident. You might have coordination difficulties, or you might not feel very confident about putting a brow product on. And what this will do, I'm just going to do this little corner here. You see where you get a little bit of foundation and whatever on your brows? It will kind of just lift them and set them, and it will already, just by doing that, it's going to define them a little bit more. Okay, can you see that? So it's a really good way if you feel that you're going to end up with a line up here. That gel is now halfway up here on my head, but you can't see it. So it's really, really forgiving. It's a really good way. And you can get some products that double up as brow and mascara. But it's the only product that I wouldn't say, if it doesn't say use it as a mascara, I wouldn't use it as a mascara, because it's going so near your eyes. Anything else, I say, you know, it's multi-use. I always use lipsticks on my cheek and eyeshadow sometimes on my lips. But when it's going that near your eyes, I would definitely make sure it says you can use it on your lashes as well. But so we have a clear brow shaper. So that's one thing that you can use. But you do need to have, in order to use that product, you do need to have, it's probably better for the fuller brow, or the brow that may have a few gaps, but you can kind of, by setting them down a bit, it's a bit like using hairspray, then you can actually make them look a little bit better. Not so much for people that have non-existent brows, because obviously there's nothing to kind of define. A really cheap version of this, and it's a makeup artist tip, and I saw Pixiwoo doing this. If you want to see someone doing this, then please take a look at Pixiwoo's videos. Really good, and I haven't opened this, is Pears soap. Okay, now Pears soap, the reason that people use this is it's a clear soap. And what you do is you put some water onto the top until it's starts to get a bit creamy, and then you pick it up with a brow brush and you comb it through your hair, and it will do the same thing as a brow gel. And it looks, as it starts to dry, you can really define each hair, and it looks really good. A lot of makeup artists use Pears soap on their brows. So costs you next to nothing. I think that's about £2 for 2 bars of soap, and you can use the soap afterwards, so you're in business. And also, I hadn't touched on the fact that there is so many different prices for these brow products, and you don't have to spend a fortune. The other thing I want to say is don't necessarily look at how much the initial purchase is, because sometimes what seems to be expensive is not expensive at all. And I'm going to give you an example. This is a very, very well-known brow product. And I'm sure that at least one subscriber that asked for a brow tutorial is interested in this, because it's Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, this is called a brow pomade. Now, can you see this? Now, I have had this product. Now, admittedly, I've just told you I kind of mix and match different products every day. But I've had this product now for 2 years. And I've not even got anywhere near the bottom of it. The only thing you have to watch is that you don't sit here like me talking with the lid off for ages, because it will dry up. But you need such a minuscule amount that actually it works out probably the best value. This pot is about, well, when I bought it, it was 15 quid. It might be 16 now. I'm not sure, but I will look it up and I'll post that below for you. It was about 15 quid, and I got the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush, and this one is number 12, which they recommended to go with this product. Now, it's got a brush at one end for you to brush your brows, and then at the other end, it's got a slanted brush like this. This, when you actually go to put it on your brows, I'm just going to show you here, and I need to keep remembering to hold everything up, because if I put it down here and then I post a video, you can't see it. So there we go, and it's up here. If I just tilt this here, the amount that you actually need to put on your brow, brush is so minuscule, and even then I'd be taking the excess off on the side, that it actually lasts you not very long. It lasts you an absolute lifetime. Now, what you do is you go along like this and you line your brow in that way, okay? Now, I'm not going to do a full tutorial because I want to get through a number of products, but you would brush your brow up and then you would start to define it. And I may do a brow tutorial showing you how to use that product. But actually, when you think about, so these two items cost me 30 quid. This is going to last me about 3 years. This is going to last me until it falls apart. And I've used it for other brow products. So actually, it's cost virtually nothing. This one obviously couldn't have a video without mentioning Charlotte Tilbury. This product is very, very good. This is called her Brow Lift. Now, this is a brow pencil on one side, and then on the other side, you've got the brush. But what makes Charlotte's different is in the middle, a lot of people don't even realise it's there, is a little highlighter to highlight your brow. None of the other brow products that are like this, there's lots of products like this that have got brush on one side and the pencil on the other. None of them have this highlighter in the middle other than Charlotte. Now, I do like this product. It's very good for drawing in lines. Let me just show you. The only thing is, it's quite soft, and what happens over time, this is supposed to be flat, and I've nearly finished this, so I can't roll it up anymore. It's supposed to be flat, and what happens is it becomes curved, and if you want to keep it sharp, you have to keep rubbing it against the table to get that very sharp line. But it is very good and very easy to fill in your lashes. Now, I've had about 3 of these, and so I'm running out of this one. They don't really last a long time in my experience, but I do use them a lot. And this one, I can't remember, I think it's £19. So it's not the best value in terms of how long it lasts. Now, the other brow product that Charlotte Tilbury does is Legendary Brows, which is another type of brow product which is very similar to the gel one, but instead of it being a clear gel, it's actually got colour on it. So that one has lasted me a long time. And what I like about this one is it's got a tiny brush and it picks up every single hair. So you know, sometimes when you got a few little strands and nothing else, it will pick up that hair and it will attach to it and it will lengthen that hair. So it's very, very good for that. So, you know, you can often do a two-stepped approach where you can do the pencil and then afterwards you can just comb that through and it's going to build up your natural lashes and it looks very natural. Charlotte Tilbury's not the only one that does this mascara with the dark gel as opposed to the clear gel, and you can get them everywhere, literally at any price range you want. Now, talking of that, I have to go to my current favourite product, and the reason it's my favourite is that it's a brow pencil, and as you can see, it's pretty similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. The only thing it doesn't have is a highlighter in the middle, but to be honest, you can get a highlighter from any of your eyeshadow palettes. It's got the brush on one end, like that, and at the other end it's got the pencil. But I actually prefer, sorry Charlotte, shock horror, newsflash, I actually prefer this to Charlotte Tilbury because the pencil is round to start with, but it is incredibly fine. I don't know if you can see that. And let me just draw a line. So if you want to do very small hair-like strokes, it does it for you. And can you see where I drew Charlotte's one? They're a lot thicker. This one is going to, see where my, I've got a few thinning hairs there. I can stroke in the direction of the hair growth and it will give me really realistic looking brows. And the great thing about this, guys, is it's £7. So it's less than half the price of the Charlotte Tilbury one. And it is by Max Factor and it's called Brow Shaper. Okay, I will post the link to that below. I love this. I bought this by accident because I went on holiday and I forgot to take my brow pencil, and I was in Sainsbury's, which is a supermarket. If you're from the US, Sainsbury's is like Walmart. I was in there and I thought, oh, I wonder if they've got a brow pencil, and I picked this up and I've fallen in love with it, and it lasts a long time. So it's really, really good value for money if you like a brow pencil. And you've got your little brush at the end of it. Really, really good. Now, I'm going to go on to the most weirdest product. And I think this is only made by one company. I don't think anyone else has bought this out yet. And it's called a brow cushion. And what a brow cushion is very similar. If you've seen the cushion foundations that you kind of have to dip your sponge in and it's under a wire mesh, it's the same sort of thing but with a brow product, and this is by Iconic. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to try this, apart from the fact that it had some really good reviews, is that I just love the case and I thought it was really good to put in my handbag. I'm a bit of a rose gold freak, and anything that's sort of gold or rose gold that I can put in my handbag, I absolutely love. It comes with a fantastic mirror, as you can see there. And then you have here a brush that is folded. So I'm going to show you this. Now, this is expensive, but again, it's going to last you. Perhaps not as long as the Dipbrow pomade, but it's handy if you want something to carry around in your bag. And you've got a sort of travel version of the Anastasia brow brush. So on one side you've got the slanted brush, and on the other side you've got the thing to comb through. And then what you have here is It comes in about 3 or 4 shades. So I got the darkest one. And on each one, you've got a cushion. And if I press my finger on there, you will see lots of pigment comes off. It's very liquidy. Okay, but you on the cushion, you've got a lighter side and a darker side. So as you work towards the tip, it goes darker. And you at this side, you would normally go a bit lighter. And excuse me if I sneeze in a minute. I will stop the video and continue because I really feel like I'm going to sneeze. I think I'm getting my son's cold. So what you do with this is you just dip it in. And again, less is more. And it is really, really good. If you've got a steady hand and you want to draw a line around your brow, it actually is really good. And because the brush is so short, it's actually quite a lot easier. And it fills it in really well. So that's another option for you. Again, perhaps for somebody that has got quite a few brows already, but wants to fill them in and wants quite a sharp line to their brow, that is a good product. Now, I'm going to mention one last product. I told you this is going to be just as long as my demos. And this one is a Younique brow product, and it's a palette. It's a whole palette for your brows, and in it you have the following. So you've got your mirror there, and then you have 2 highlighters. This one looks really weird, and I was a bit reluctant to try it because it says it's a highlighter, and I thought I don't walk around with pink highlighter. Can you see that? That's it. You can see the colours better that way. I don't walk around with pink highlighter on my brow, but the really weird thing is that when you put it on, it doesn't come out pink at all. It's a matte highlighter. And this one is a shimmer highlighter. So if I put that on there, you will see that it's got a tiny bit more shimmer. Okay, so you've got your 2 highlighters. Then you've got 2 powders that you can use. And then this is a gel that sets it at the end. So it just locks it all in. So you can use a brush like this. Now, Younique do sell a brush, but you have to buy it separately. It's not one of the cheaper options, but, you know, it gives you a lot of versatility. So you've got 2 shades. This is the dark again, but, you know, you've got 2 shades that you can use. And you've got the gel to set it, and you've got the highlighter. So, you know, it's everything in one, really. But not the cheapest option. I think it's £30. I got it on sale. So keep an eye out with if you've got a Younique representative. And as I say, they do a very similar brush to this as well. So again, you just would take your brush, your angled brush, and you would just start brushing in. Now, the advantage of using a powder is it's going to look a lot more natural. It's going to be a lot less than the one that I just used a minute ago, the cushion or the pencil, because the powder is just going to disperse a lot more. So if you're after a bit more of a natural look, or you're a bit afraid, then the powder's the way to go. Now, the only thing I will say about this or any other brow, because they're not the only ones that would do a brow palette, is that you don't actually need to get one of these. Sorry, Younique. Sorry, Catherine. It's very handy to have if you like doing your brows. And especially if perhaps you've got sparser brows than me and you want to spend some time and have it out and about with you. That's the advantage. The only thing I'll say is these actually are no different really than eyeshadows. And if you've got a brown eyeshadow or whatever colour your eyebrows are in a eyeshadow palette, you can use that and do the same thing. And actually, I haven't tried this yet, but because I've only got this recently. But I'm going to try doing my eyes with these colours here. Not the ones at the bottom. Maybe, oh no, I'd use the highlighter, the powder highlighter. But actually, it's no different really than having an eyeshadow. The only difference is that you've got something here to set your brows with that you haven't got in an eyeshadow palette. So you would need to get something else to set it, which might be a gel. So there's so much here to talk about, and I'm sorry if I've confused you. Now, if you want me to do a tutorial filling in my brows, or perhaps you want me to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, please put a comment below and I will do that for you. There are all sorts of prices on here, and really you can spend next to nothing on your brows, or you can spend a fortune on your brows. But it really is about practicing and having a look at what you think suits you. One little tip I will end by saying is, you will see my brows are quite dark, okay? Now, one mistake I think a lot of people make is that they always go in with a brow pencil that is far too dark for them. Now, given that I have got nearly black brows, I want to show you the brow product. Let me just show you the Charlotte Tilbury match for me is that. And actually that's nowhere near the colour of my brows. But if I went and got a black one, I might occasionally, if I'm lazy, use a black eyeshadow, but I would brush it through and disperse it a lot. If I actually got a jet black pencil and put that through my brows, I would look really severe. And I think it's one of the mistakes that people often make when they're drawing in their brows. The other thing is, if you've got next to no brows, I would move away from sharp lines and start to think about doing little tiny hair-like strokes and perhaps using a powder. Because again, I've seen people that have got barely no brows and they draw a line, and actually our brows aren't a line, they're a collection of hairs that are growing in a certain direction. So it doesn't always look natural. But again, makeup is about what you feel confident in. If you want to do a line and you like that look, then I'm not telling you not to do it. There are no rules in makeup. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry, it's very different to my other ones. If you don't like this, please let me know and say, you know, I'd rather have it from this slant or that slant, because I'm still getting to know my subscribers and what they want from me. So please do let me know, and, you know, keep them constructive. Obviously, don't be horrible to me. Please don't be horrible to me. But anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you very soon. And do let me know if you want me to do my brows on video and shut up from talking for once. All right, take care. Thank you for joining me. See you soon. Bye-bye.